Okay, there we go. Hi, Mariana. Thanks for joining me today.
Hello, Gail. Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, it's lovely to have you. You got your little one with you there today. Supermums in action here today, very much so. Thanks for coming on to share your story. We like to do these short videos to let people know about some of the supermums who have already been through our program. So we're going to be chatting to you today, and you are a Global Salesforce Expert, right? That's a great title.
Yeah, yeah, but a scary one. Yeah.
I will hear a bit more about what that involves in a minute. Just to introduce everyone to Supermums and our growth lately. So we've got over 200 Supermums and dads who have been through our program, like yourself, or who are currently training on our program more and more every day. Some just started in this last week as well. Got over you offer through things like your experience, which we're going to talk a little bit about in a moment. We've got some great volunteers who support students on our program. They're from all over the Salesforce ecosystem and all over the world, indeed. At the moment, we've got 4 courses in 2 time zones and lots of companies supporting us, including those here. This slide actually needs a bit of an update because we've got even more great companies supporting us now. We're talking particularly about our administrator course today, and that's sponsored by St James's Place Wealth Management in the UK and Validity in the USA. So thanks very much for them to supporting our courses. We've got our administrator course coming up, and that's what we're going to be talking about a little more today. So we're going to have a chat with you, Anna, and you can and we can talk a little bit more about your role. So do you want to tell us where you are right now and what this role is, Global Salesforce Expert? What does it mean?
Yeah, it's an admin role. Expert because probably between the super users, between the actual users in the company, I'm the person that knows more of Salesforce, how it works. So every question, every problem they have, they will call me. So actually what I'm doing is support. Mm-hmm. And I was hired to do some training too, training of users. So that's what an expert is. I'm sorry, I just
that's all right.
It gets a little interesting.
So yeah, and that's it. We are Supermums, and I think it's very authentic to have the kids in the background. I've been doing some lots of calls all week, and my son has been helping with some of the sales calls, which has been interesting. Bless him. So yeah, we're perfectly used to that. Don't worry. So you're the go-to person within the organization for anyone who needs help with Salesforce. How did you get into that role, kind of, and what does the company actually do?
Okay, Hillebrand is a worldwide logistics service company. We do logistics mainly to the beverage industry, so beer, wine, spirits, but also industrial bulk liquids. We are very specialized in this, so our customers really relate. They depend on us. They like my wine just travels on Hillebrand because they know it's going to take to the restaurant or to their client, wherever they are in the world, in quality, in good shape. It's important for wine. It's important for all the liquids. Our main business is wine, but we also move anything that is not dangerous goods. So we have a team of 2 developers and me and a group of other support, but from the support team, I'm the only one trained in Salesforce. So the rest, they do mainly user management only. And I will do everything explaining how it works, how Salesforce in Hillebrand work, because it's never the same. Yeah. It's highly customized. So really how it works, how you do it, how you can better find your reports, your dashboards, and also everything in the day-to-day life. And I got this position through networking of Supermums. So not only I learned everything I needed to do the job properly with the on-the-job training, and also the training itself was really like real. It wasn't theoretic at all. Mm-hmm. It's a very good complement to Trailheads. And sometimes later I did another training with Salesforce, and he said, this is like you go into a tool store and you have all these things that can help you build beautiful things, but you need to have your toolkit. So we are here to help you have a good toolkit that will help you to do the job, because Salesforce is so, it's amazing the amount of things you have to know. You can never know everything.
Yeah.
So if you're then trailhead is like you could learn everything, but you don't, and you need to make sense of it. So Supermums were totally amazing in that. From day one, it showed us a view what Salesforce means for a company in terms of change management and change being digital, and how Salesforce can help that company, not in a technological way, but in everything and all, in many aspects. So give us that view, and from day one, this is how you do. That's the steps you do, and that's what you get in the end.
I'm glad you found that, because I think that is an important part of our course, and what we always try and say is that we're not just preparing you to pass the exam, which is an important thing and you need to do, but we're preparing you for a job, ideally. And actually the curriculum is a little bit broader than just passing the exam, but actually includes some of those things around project management and some wider tools and some bits more in depth that hopefully you'll find useful when you actually go into a role. So that's really good to hear. That's really good to hear. What's your what's kind of the best thing about your job now, working with Salesforce?
I really enjoy people, and I really always, and the energy, the fact that we can help them get the best of the tool to improve their job, their day-to-day. This is what's most important for me, to be in touch and to be able to listen to their needs and to transform those needs into new features.
Yeah, and I think that's an interesting point you made there about this is kind of a tech job, and some people think of that as just being about the computer the whole time and not doing anything else, whereas actually to be in your kind of position, you do need to be speaking to people all the time, and it's really nice to be able to help them ideally do their job better, is what you're helping them do, isn't it? And making their life a bit easier with these tools. So it's a really nice aspect of working with Salesforce, I think, especially in something like an admin role or a global Salesforce expert kind of role.
Yeah.
We are in a bit of a different situation at the moment because we're recording this during the COVID-19 pandemic. So we're all working from home at the moment, but usually is that something you do anyway? How have you found kind of the working practices working with Salesforce?
Every country I think is different. My expectation when I learn about Supermums and Salesforce and this is that I'll be working from home, I can do like nomad, I can live anywhere and this and that. But then reality is not, at least for me, it wasn't like that, because there aren't so many contracts here in Spain. You always, when you call for a job offer, they always say, oh, it's a fixed contract, it's full time, it's in company, we're gonna love you forever, that's it. So and that's the situation I have. I have a full-time job in a company, and which gives me stability in the sense that I know I'm not changing things from time to time, but at the same time I cannot control. Right now I would like to be working less, and I could work more depending on if I have parents around, things like that, which I don't. But at the same time, as it's a small team and we are in 3 different countries, it is possible from time to time to work from home. I also have to do ideally some traveling to visit other offices or to meet the rest of the team in a different country. But yes, if I need to work from home, I can.
That's good. It varies, I think, from role to role and country to country. So depending on kind of, the specifics can vary a little bit depending on where you go. But I think definitely within Salesforce, once you get going and once you get a bit of experience and once you start to get some more certifications, that's when you can be a bit more picky and choosy, and when you start to have a few more options about how and when you work. Definitely found that with speaking to people, like some people in dev or the consultants, they can definitely have a few more options about how and when they work. And that is kind of from the basis of the admin certification, you can leap off into all those different directions. And I know you've started doing some more certifications. So I wonder if you could tell us what certifications you have and if you've got plans to do any more.
Yes, it's a little addicting. you get I mean, getting a certification wasn't easy, but in the end, for me at least, it was easier than I thought. Preparation was tough, and everything you find on net, on Salesforce ban, on everywhere you go. Sorry for that. But sometimes you get more help.
Yeah.
Supermums were great help. We covered everything we needed, and to a little more confidence, you do mock exams, and these are kind of more difficult than exam in the end. So this was my first experience. I passed in the first time. I know it doesn't happen like that for everyone. I wouldn't know why, because it didn't happen to me. So I wouldn't say, oh, this is because you get stuck in this and that. I didn't have that experience. And then my second certification was platform builder.
Platform app builder.
App builder, yes. Which is actually similar and probably simpler than admin.
It's a really good second set to go for to build your confidence, because a lot of the content is admin based. So yeah, a lot of what you've already learned.
Yeah, it builds in the sense that it gives you a little more visibility on the things you cannot do, that you will definitely need some code. The experience for me, the bootcamp was amazing. Something I would recommend if you can, if your company can pay for it, I would definitely do it again. And yeah, I think it's a path. You have to aim always for more, to learn more, and in a way try to find one of those trails that is yours. But then, as I don't know it yet, then I just try everything.
Yeah, and I think that's great with the admin, and then being involved in Supermums and getting involved in the ecosystem and the community of Salesforce. That's when you really start to learn more about where your path might be, because the admin gives you that kind of baseline understanding. And I definitely found when I was doing the course, my mentor was actually really helpful for that, to have discussions with my mentor about what the different opportunities were and where my skills might fit in as well. I think that's where our mentors really help. Did you have a mentor when you were doing the course?
Yeah, Heather was my mentor, so I feel very privileged on that.
That's great.
I worked with her, and the project was a very, very interesting project. But also, as I wasn't there, so I missed that being in contact in person and to meet and to be able to, the job training, to meet people. So I had Cleo. She was my trainer, and she lives here in Barcelona. So yes, she was she did a lot of mentoring with me too, and also she gave the connection for me to find this job. So
that's perfect.
Yeah,
there's two kind of great things about our courses: this idea of having a mentor, and also the work experience project that really helps you get that first little taste of success and putting your skills to good use. What was your work experience project like?
My project was about PTAs. So it was to build something from scratch and to present and to find a test group that would find it interesting. But it wasn't that they asked us for something. So it has that second challenge, which is convince people that this is great. We already know, but sometimes you really have to sell it. It happens to me in my job now, and it happened in that project, because sometimes people are used to do the things the way they are, and you're offering something super cool, and maybe they'll say, yeah, but it's going to be more work for me, so what's in it for me?
Yeah.
And this is something that we always have to watch out for. That we always have to have that in mind, what is in for the user, because in the beginning, until it gets like rolling the bicycle, it is something that they have to know from the beginning what they can get from it.
And I think we touched on that a little bit in the administrator course, but Heather's recently launched this consultancy skills course as a follow-on to the administrator course. And I know she goes into a bit more detail on that. And I know there's, in the Salesforce ecosystem as well, there's lots of workshops and things on this idea of user adoption, and that being kind of every Salesforce admin or manager's kind of biggest challenge is making sure everyone kind of gets on board with it. So yeah, that is a common challenge, and it's good that you met that kind of early on with and got that understanding through the work experience project, so it didn't come as a bit of a shock when you actually went to work, right?
Definitely, yeah.
So what's kind of, I guess we are in a bit of an uncertain time, but kind of what's next for you in Salesforce, do you think?
Sorry.
What's next for you in the world of Salesforce? Have you got an idea of kind of what certifications you want to do, or where do you?
Yeah, I'm trying to develop.
Okay.
Because not because I want to be a developer, I don't know yet, but probably not. It's because I think you have to know certain things, and when you're in a conversation in a product team, you need to know, and also it helps you to see your limits, but also the possibilities you can have, and more or less understand that SOQL, and to understand, to be able to read, and to be able to grow in any other way we want. So that's my next.
The platform developer, kind of that direction. Yeah, that is a really great course. We offer that one as well, and I think people often are a bit confused about what it is about, but we've discussed, there's another great webinar with my colleague Graham who discusses that a lot of that is also understanding the limits of what you can do with the clicks not code side of Salesforce, and what you need to do with code. And it's not actually necessarily about learning how to write code, but it's that thing, as you say, understanding when you need it, when you don't need it, and what it does, so that you can talk to the people who actually are going to go off and do the code.
That's what I think, and that's probably the next step.
Great. And what would you say?
It will be with Supermums when this COVID everything changes, because that's my growth plan in my company.
Oh, great, perfect. Yes, we'd love to have you on the course, definitely. Our Platform Developer 1 course. So we'd be pleased to welcome you onto that, and perhaps we can do another one of these when you've come out the other side of that, and you can tell us all about your experience with that as well.
Okay.
So you're thinking about going on to do Platform Developer 1, but what about people who are thinking about wanting to do the admin course? So maybe they haven't worked with Salesforce before, they're a little bit apprehensive about diving into something new. Can you think back to kind of your experience of your first thinking about taking the course, and what would you say to them now?
That you really need the training. You really need that. You can learn alone, you can go to group users, but there's nothing like the kind of experience you can have in a formal training. I also enjoy the fact it was in 4 months, so it has time to sink in. You do in your own pace, more or less. You have a lot of work, but also might need that click, need that time to absorb everything.
Yeah.
And to be able to make questions, things that it's not just learn this and that, because you don't know what you don't know. So you need someone to guide you, and to guide you to the other side, to be able to do the job. The certification is a side effect. If you know it, you can make it, you can do it.
Yeah, exactly. You can do it. I think that's the main thing. Have confidence. Yeah, the course itself, does prepare people for the admin certification through covering all that needs to be learned. But it's that important thing of we get you to put it into practice by doing the homework tasks throughout the week. So you learn it, do the homework task, and then also do the work experience task as well. So you're sort of having several opportunities to put it into practice, which I think really helps kind of embed it in your brain, and really helps you understand it properly, and not just enough to get through the exam. But also, I'm not sure how much we were doing them at the time when you were doing the course, but we do have specific exam study sessions now as well to help people practice for passing the exam, give each other some tips and help on how to do that, because it's quite a thing in itself, kind of passing the exam. I think it is one of those things you can know it all, but just passing the exam is its own technique in itself. So we're offering a bit more support around being able to do that now as well.
Yeah, when I did it, we had a training group over the phone. We would share things, and it's very, very important, because in the course of this 1 month, everyone that was preparing, you accountability. When you say, I'll do my certification in a month from today, and then everybody, oh, how's it going, and then when when is it tomorrow? Oh, good luck. Okay. And after, so you feel more peer pressure to really do it, because if you don't put a date, then maybe you don't do it.
Yeah, all the people I know who are very experienced in Salesforce and have a lot of certs always say they put the exam date in, then start studying for it, to really push themselves to make sure they do it. Don't wait till you think you know everything and then try and book the exam. Get that date in the diary and work towards it if you can. But yeah, it's really nice to be part of the community with Supermums, right? And have those people around you in your, not only the people on your group, but then we've got our alumni community as well, who can all just offer that bit of support, all trying to do the same thing, offer that accountability, which I think is important as well, especially when something is an online and remote course. Having people to keep you motivated and do you along is really nice and helpful as well. And that's actually an additional thing we've got as part of our course now. So Heather is a qualified coach, as is one of our other directors, Zoe. So now every 2 weeks, there are coaching sessions that Supermums can take part in as well. So that really helps everyone stay motivated and keep on top of their goals.
Super nice.
Yeah, you're welcome to join as well.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, I guess the final thing to mention is you're over there in Spain, and I know we've got a few Supermums now. You mentioned like Cleo as well, who is part of our team a while ago. We've got really an international base now, so no matter kind of where you are, we've got a course in the USA, we've got a course based out of Europe. We say now just less than the UK, because we do have Supermums from all over joining us. So we're developing a really nice global community of Supermums. So thank you for being a part of it, and thank you for joining me today.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks very much. Bye.
Bye.
If you'd like to hear more stories from our Supermums, check out the case studies on the case studies page of our website. Otherwise, if you're interested in training, do head to supermums.org/training to download a pack about our admin course or any of the other courses that are available. You can also book in a one-to-one call with me or my colleague Shelin, who's out in the US, and have a chat about your situation. Just head to our calendly.com/supermumstraining. Chat to you soon.